excited to have you here as part of our Leggz of Art program for 2024, and we are excited to see the beautiful print that you've made that will come to life on a pair of leggings. So let's talk, we're going to get a little bit to know you before we introduce your art. That will come later, but we want to know the beauty behind the art. So tell us about yourself.
Yes, sure. So I've been an artist as long as I can remember. I started out just painting things that I felt like were so cute, animals, and then things that I found beauty in, so landscapes. And as I kind of progressed in my work, I wanted to be more free. So I started doing conceptual pieces, and art really for me it's been therapy. It's been a way to express myself. It's been a way to send messages as well. Say, here, have you ever thought about this? Or take a look at this beauty that's before us. Let's just meditate on that. Take our minds off of things that are not too nice. Definitely at some points of my life, that was really important.
Yeah, to get through the hard times and find the beauty in all around us, and remember that.
Yeah. And even sometimes just we can get in ruts in life, and for me, sitting down to paint is such a good way of just letting things flow.
Has painting always been your medium?
Well, I do enjoy drawing quite a lot, and I'm much more interested in painting now than I was as a child, that's for sure. I guess as well, I love to sing, I love to dance, and write, so art overall is just a beautiful thing for me.
Good. Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing your art with us. So do you remember your first piece of artwork?
It was definitely some scribbles, but the piece that I felt like, hey, this is something that I can say is art, which doesn't make sense, but for a child, you can see how something like a portrait would be special enough to say that's my first piece. It was of a girl just kind of looking into the distance. It seems like she's pondering life, and I was really into fashion at that point, so it was definitely like this gothic style, lip rings and chokers, and that was my first piece.
Oh, and was that painted or drawn?
That was a charcoal drawing, yes.
Oh, that in charcoal too, right? That would be so in touch with that.
Yes.
And do you still have that piece?
I think that I do.
That would be good. That would be a good one to keep. You can need to frame that.
Yeah.
Yes. Who would you say, or what would you say would be your biggest influence to get you into art?
I think as a mystic, I think the things that are unknown, if that makes sense, things that are a mystery, and emotions for sure.
And trying to deal with them?
And also just observing, for sure. I think there's like a whole invisible world that we can explore, and that's the biggest thing in painting for myself.
Beautiful. Love it. Where do you get your ideas? How do they come to you?
Yeah. So this is a pretty big question. When I was younger, I would admire something like a style, as we talked about, fashion, or an emotion, a vibe. And then it came to the earth around me. I was so inspired by the beauty amidst the pain, or the beauty when we're feeling good. And at this point, I actually feel this kind of connection where I can get inspired pieces, and so it kind of just comes to me, and I feel like I have to paint this, or it'll be some concept that I feel like I need to communicate.
Wonderful. What do you want to accomplish with your art?
Yeah. So I really would love to show people that all these different messages that I've been speaking of, in full, it's really a message of love and the power that we have as individuals that goes beyond the physical. What we have in our heart, what we have in our spirit, what we have in our mind that we can create. And so this message of love and power is really about getting in touch with ourselves and getting in touch with the earth and the people around us, how we're so connected. This is really a theme of lots of the messages that I love to portray now in my work.
Beautiful. You talked about being into painting right now. You've talked about working with drawing and with charcoal. What's your favorite art medium, or does it change?
It's been pretty consistent. I love acrylics.
Acrylics.
Yes, yes.
What is the favorite piece of art that you've created?
Ooh, that is a good question.
That's almost like asking a mother, do you have a favorite child, right?
Oh my.
But it's hard, right? Especially because I would think your art that tells your stories, that has those emotions captured into it. This might be a really difficult question to answer.
Yeah. You're right. There's so many that I love so much. I can think of one piece that definitely stands out for me. So I painted it after a long period where I felt like I just couldn't grab the brushes. And it really actually catapulted me into this new season that I was able to paint again. So it was special in this regard. But also, as I sat down to paint it, sometimes I have the full picture, other times I really don't, and it just kind of develops as it goes along. And this was one of those where I start with no idea what I'm doing and end up with this beautiful, what I think is a masterpiece. So the message behind it is that we can see trauma from many different perspectives. We can see it from the perspective of the victim, where maybe that thing wants us to feel a certain way or could make us feel a certain way. And we can see it from the perspective of something much higher, where we don't tie our identity to something that happens. And then overall, the piece is really about tying both of those perspectives or identities together in fullness, where you can be both or you can be neither, but you can see both of them, if that makes sense, and make your choice.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's very emotional. So you were talking about this piece that you would start and then come back to and come back to. Is that with all your artwork? Like, is it a long journey, or do some come quickly and it's how does that work for you?
Great question. Yes. So it's very much that some I'll sit down to paint them and within a week it's finished. Others it'll take months. It feels like I'm not in the place of flow where I can really just enjoy it and put that energy of enjoyment into it. I need to be in that place of being able to follow the inspiration.
You just never know where it's going to take you. Kind of like life, right? You just don't know what's next. And I guess that's the lesson for us all. So what would be your best piece of advice for somebody wanting to get into art?
I think something that's been so powerful for myself, which I think can translate, is that please don't worry too much about how good the art is. Don't worry too much about finding your style. It's beautiful. Art is all beautiful, and however you express yourself is valid. You might like one more than the other, right? But just do it.
So true. Kind of falls in line with our little be your own kind of beautiful, right? And yes. Expressing yourself to your true form.
Yes. And just being able to accept the journey, accept the growth, as well as feeling like it doesn't have to be finished now. We don't have to be finished now.
Very true.
Be your own kind of beautiful.
Be your own kind of beautiful, yes. And enjoy the ride, because you just don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Can you share with us, with this print, your inspiration? Tell us about the representation for you, and just let's show the love on this beautiful print that you've created.
Oh, 100%. So this is the celebration of a phenomenon that I like to call Orbeez. Some people call it spirits, some people call it angels, some people call it specks of dust. But as someone who's experienced these little orbs of light, I'm very drawn to them, and it's kind of a personal connection that you can gain. As a mystic artist, I love to see energy. So sometimes you'll see these Orbeez around people, and sometimes it looks like it's tied in with the energy of a room. Other times it's much more meaningful than this. Sometimes I ask the universe, source, God, however you like to view yourself, I say, please, I need protection right now. And for me, the color blue is very much a protective color. And so I'll see like a blue orb of light just floating by. And some people will say it's a trick of the light or a projection of my own consciousness. And I think that's okay. It's just such a beautiful thing to celebrate and to say thank you. Sometimes it'll be bright and yellow, giving joy, or for me, pink is tied to love. And so when I see a pink Orby, it makes me feel love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And art is so subjective, right? Which is why I
Yeah.
love that you say, you know, for me it's this, or for me. When I look at your beautiful print, I see I think they're called ranunculus, the flowers with all the layers in them.
Yes.
And like the beauty that you find. And I think that's the most wonderful thing about artwork is that it is so conversational and thought provoking and emotion provoking. So thank you for sharing this absolutely stunning print with us.
Oh, you're so welcome. And they absolutely can be flowers as well.
But and just to think of the magic behind it, right? I think that's a special characteristic of this print.
Mm.
This collaboration, what does it mean to you?
Yes, so I'm very excited to be able to give this piece to the world, that it hopefully can inspire people to see beyond what we normally think is around us, and to have a little spark of joy, a little spark of protection, and a little spark of love to bring along with us. As well as it's very special to me as it's my first interview as an artist. Being able to give a painting on a bigger scale than just a commission or on a social account is very wonderful. So thank you.
You're welcome. I can't wait till you get to wear your first pair of your own print.
Oh,
I'm excited
yes,
for
me
that.
too.
One of the benefits of the Leggz of Art program is the charitable component from the sale of the leggings. You have chosen the Covenant House as your organization that we're going to help with this. Tell us a little bit about how this aligns with your goals.
Yeah. So I've always been very passionate to help people who are found without a home. And I think Covenant House is one of these charities that does a great job. And so families, youth, whatever age you are, however, whatever background you come from, whatever your choices in life, I think everyone deserves this support in whatever circumstance they're finding themselves in. And so definitely someday I would like to expand with the help of art or singing or whatever it is, with creating a place where people can come to find shelter and to find nature as well. Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to give in partnership with She's Got Legs.
Thank you. So, what are your goals with your art?
Yeah. So I am very excited to be able to hopefully someday do commissions for people. One of the things that I'm most excited for is, say if someone has a really crazy experience, that they want immortalized or a dream that was super life-changing for them, as many of us have experienced. I would love to be able to give this piece where they can look at it and be able to be reminded of that life-changing experience or that thought-provoking vision. This is one of the things I'm most excited for. There's so much though.
There is so much. And all of our Legs of Art artists have been different. So I'm so excited to see where your journey takes you and follow along after we launch these beautiful leggings you've made.
So exciting. And all of these women are absolutely so inspiring. Seeing the message that they have to send and the gift that they have to give, I'm very excited as well to be on that list, you could say.
Yes. Well, and
Yeah.
we're so excited to be able to share with the world your beautiful art and your
Yeah.
beautiful spirit. So thank you for participating in our Legs of Art program and taking that chance and sending in your artwork, and we're so excited to move forward with this.
It's such a pleasure. You are so welcome, and thank you so much for the opportunity as well.